Hello my fellow YouTubers and welcome. This is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile on my Hopeless Dragon deck. I really apologize for the shadow and the little shadow waves right here. Camera quality sucks real bad, so I'll try to get to this as quick as I can. Anyway, this is my deck profile for my Hopeless Dragon deck, and this guy right here, Five-Headed Dragon, is the main big boss kind of thing. He's the main beater, and he has a kick-ass ability. If you don't know what he does by now, go look it up. Anyways, let's get to the deck. We got 3 Red Eyes Darkness Dragons. Basically the heart and soul of any dragon deck. You remove one dragon on your side of the field to special summon him, and once per turn you can special summon any dragon monster from your hand or graveyard. So he's important. Why wouldn't you run him? Now the beater of the deck, I got 3 Dark Horus. Again, he's just a beater, 3000 attack, 1800 defense. And a lot of people don't really remember his second effect. When your opponent activates a spell card on his turn, you can special summon a level 4 Dark monster from your graveyard. And a lot of people don't really ever use that effect. They forget. So, yeah. Just remember that. Nolius. This guy is freaking incredible. The fact is, you don't ever summon him in the deck, but you do use him with Phantom of Chaos, or aka Puddle, and basically just wipes the field clean, starts over, and you get to draw a card, so it's an automatic +1. Dark Creator, I only won 1, 2 seems to be a dead draw to me. Very good late game, summon him in defense or in attack. Remove a dark monster to special summon a dark, and can only be special summoned, if you have exactly 5 or more dark monsters in your grave. So this guy's really awesome with the deck. And of course, Dad, Dark Arm, can only be special summoned if you only have exactly 3 darks in your grave, which is kind of, I don't know, there's so many. He's not that hard to summon out, but his other effect is you remove a dark monster from your graveyard and you get to just pretty much destroy any card on the field. So, really good card. Next we have Prime. This dude is by far the sexiest card I've ever seen, and his effect is so incredible. Prime Material Dragon. Basically, instead of losing effect damage, you gain it as life points, and his other effect is, if there's a card on the field that would destroy any card or cards, you get to send 1 card from your hand and pitch it to pretty much negate it, so it's a really good card. Got your 3 Red Eyes Wyverns. Nothing really much to these except for when they're in the graveyard. You basically remove them on the end phase to special summon your Red Eyes Darkness Metal. So there's really nothing else to it. It's an 18 beater, badass kick-ass effect. 2 Infernals. This guy sucks balls, but other than that, the reason why I run him is because he's really good, he's really cool. He's Infernal Dragon, 2000 attack. You can choose to attack or not, but he has 2000 attack. And if you do attack, he gets to the graveyard at the end of the battle step, or at the end phase. But with his effect, it kind of keeps the graveyard filled. So yeah. Armageddon Knights. When there's 2 Armageddon Knights, when they're summoned, pitch 1 dark monster from your deck to the graveyard. Normally I send my Nolius if I have Phantom, or I just start loading with my dragons, because that's where they mainly count. So thinking about taking 1 out because of him. Dark Grepher. I only have 1 because I can't afford 2. Basically send a level 5 dart from your hand to the graveyard to special summon him. Second effect, you send one dart monster from your hand to the graveyard to send one dart monster from your deck to the graveyard. This guy is basically what feeds the graveyard. He's main control of your graveyard, and if you start out with him and Dark Arm, this guy is insane. He basically lets you get that Dark Arm out. Phantom of Chaos 1. Like I said, his effect can copy any monster effects in the graveyard as long as you remove it from your graveyard from remove, and it copies the attack and defense and the monster's effect. This guy works well with Sky Swords. One Sangan. Love Sangan because he can search out Armageddon Knights. They have 1400 attack points. So, plus they get Phantom of Chaos or Morphing Jar or Battle Fader. So, he's a really good card. Morphing Jar. Don't really want to explain this. Everyone should know what Morphing Jar does. When he's flipped, basically when he's flipped, reset the hand, send your hand to the grave, draw on your hand. Simple, right? And two Battle Faders, just to stop your opponent's attacks if you have absolutely nothing else to do. So yeah, that's it for the monsters. Now we're gonna go on to the spells. I'm not really gonna get into describing all the spells. So here we go. Future Fusion. Basically pitch 5 Dark Dragons for this guy. So sends him to the graveyard. So this also really works with this deck because you're constantly sending things to the graveyard, and that's the really good thing about Future Fusion is it also helps you out fill up the graveyard. Dragon's Mirror. If your Future Fusion is either MST'd or just plain out destroyed, Dragon's Mirror is your second backup to get your 5-headed dragon. So, yeah. I only want one right now, because I think you can only have one, so. Monster Reincarnation. Just basically switch out cards you want in your graveyard from your hand. There's a card you want in your graveyard, but it's in your graveyard. You can pitch a card from your hand, add it to the graveyard to add that card from the graveyard to your hand. It's really good. One Gold Sark, just one for now until I can get me another one. It shouldn't be that hard, but yeah. Remove a card from play for 2 turns, and on your second turn, you get your card. One Allure of Darkness, draw power, and you have a lot of targets in here because you run a lot of mainly all darks. Staples, Monster Reborn. This one's not so much of a staple. Card destruction, just there to basically get rid of a dead hand and you start it over. MST, Trunade, Dark Hole, basically staples. 2 DDRs. A lot of stuff in here gets removed sometimes, so DDRs help bring those cards back, and basically it's really good card because a lot of times I find myself removing my Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragons, use DDRs to ditch like a Dark Horse to the graveyard, special summon my Red Eyes Darkness Metal, and then special summon on that one turn. And then if I'm lucky enough, I can remove that monster I just special summoned to send another Red Eyes Darkness Metal and get another monster like Prime Material out from my graveyard. So it gives me 3 monsters for one card purpose. So 2 Foolish Burials, send cards to the graveyard from your deck, keeps graveyard filled. 2 trade-ins. You have like 4 targets in this deck. It's not much, but still, it really works. Trade-ins. They're also the draw power. Now onto the traps. Call of the Haunted, Torrential, 7 Tools. I run 7 Tools because I don't have Solemn Judgment. I cannot afford one at all. So, yeah, it's just for so I can get another one. And then 2 Bottomless. Basically, when opponent summons any monster, remove them if they have 1500 play. Alright, well that was it for the deck profile. If you have any comments or if you have any tips on what I should change out, let me know. And that's it. That's the deck profile.